So we're gonna train chest today. If you guys have been watching the advanced training technique videos, the last two, we talked about chest. So today we're gonna bring it all together. Just like all my other routines, I like to start with my weakest areas first. Now, most people have less upper chest development, so it's honestly a good way for most people to start their chest routine. So we're gonna start off with an upper chest exercise. Now, before I jump into compound movements like presses, I like to start with an isolation exercise. So grabbing a single handle, I'm gonna drop the weight down light. Just like most of my routines, 4 sets of these. First set is that recruitment set, 20 reps, nice and light. I just want you to focus on good technique, form. And what we're gonna do, this is the starting position right here. So I've got 90-degree bend in my elbow, and all I'm gonna do, I put my other hand on my upper chest so I can feel it contracting. Starting here, I squeeze across and actually push past my other shoulder. You can see the range of motion here. Now what's happening here is, one, I'm taking a lot of my anterior delt out of it, and I'm also getting a much bigger range of motion than I would with any kind of press. Keep your hand shoulder height. Don't go too high, don't go too low. Keep it right here, keep it close to your body. So you're gonna do 20 of these, and then switch arms. And don't come all the way out here. Keep that 90-degree bend at your start. You wanna make sure this isn't a warm-up, this is an actual working set. So you wanna make sure that you pick a weight where 20's hard. If you get to 15 and 15's real easy, then it's too light. So no rest here. I'm gonna turn around, jump back to my other arm. I'm gonna jump up in weight, and I'm gonna go to 10 reps. All right, that was set 2. Moving right on to set 3. Back to 10 reps again, switching arms. So no rest here. All right, that was third set. Moving right into our 4th and final set of these. This is 15 reps. All right, so first exercise, we knocked it out. We're gonna come over here. The next 2 exercises are gonna be on the incline bench. Now everyone does incline for upper chest, but here's the problem. Most people do it on an angle like this or a little bit steeper, 45 degrees. The steeper it is, the more I'm going to engage my deltoids. I don't wanna do that. I wanna try to target my chest as much as possible. So I like to use just a there's flat. I like to come just one up from that. So just a slight incline. There's no resistance up here, really. From here to here, very little. That's why you see guys like Arnold used to talk about, they didn't even squeeze to the middle like this. They'd stop about here. It's because you're only getting resistance against gravity, which is about from here to there. So that's all I'm gonna do. This is my range of motion right here. Stretch at the bottom, squeeze it up. Go nice and wide. Keep a slight bend in your elbows. There we go. All right, first set. Just gonna shake it off for a second. I'm gonna move straight into my second set here. I train by feel, and that's why I'm always harping about the mind-muscle connection. You gotta put your brain into the muscle, or your mind into the muscle, and feel it. So I feel these on the outside, I feel those on the inside, and ultimately, that's what you want. It doesn't matter what somebody else says, or what some other bullshit YouTube video says. If you don't feel it, then you're not working the muscle. Here we go. Set 2, 10 reps. Down here, stretch, and squeeze up. 3, go out nice and wide. There we go. There's 10. Go back to the second video in advanced training techniques, and I talk about length-tension relationship. I feel like I have to mention it in each one of these videos because it's so important. All right, very little rest. I like to keep it about 60 seconds rest, no more. Back to set 3. That's set 3, I got one more. And that's going back to my original weight. But now I should only be able to get about 15 reps. All right, last set. Now mind you, even though we're on an incline, this isn't just for upper chest. You're working your whole chest here as well. All right, so that was our second exercise. Those were our 2 isolation exercises for upper chest, pre-fatigue the muscle. Now we move on to our first compound movement. I'm gonna leave the bench the same angle. I'm gonna do it the same way that I do everything else. So 4 sets, 20 reps, 10, 10, and 15. Trust me, at this point, 20 reps are hard, so don't go crazy on your weight. Now, I don't want you starting narrow like this, like most people do. Narrow, I'm engaging more of my triceps, also getting delts in there. I want to get a nice stretch in the chest, so elbows out wide, not close to my body. Elbows out, dumbbells out. Just this, you'll feel the stretch, and from here, we press up and toward the middle. There's 10, there's 15, 5 more. Oh yeah, that was ugly. We'll save those for our 4th and final set. That's the same weight I'll go back to. So go back to our advanced training technique videos. And I talk about why use dumbbells over a bar. And it really just comes down to range of motion. On a bar, it's limited range of motion. On dumbbells, I can get a much better range of motion, better squeeze. So go back and watch that video. Only about 60 seconds rest. You're not gonna get all your strength back. So don't think you're gonna come in here and lift the weights that you'd normally lift. I'm going for 10 now. I'm already pretty fatigued, but I'll try for these hundreds here. All right, here we go, second set. This will be 10 reps. Boy, I'm done. On this, if I was fresh, I could come in and hit, 140s or 150s. By this point, these hundreds feel heavy. My best advice to you is you can't ever worry about what anyone else thinks. And I mean the people in the gym around you. I have people all the time that'll pick up weight twice as heavy, and I see them slinging it around using terrible form, accomplishing nothing. And the only purpose it serves is their ego. So don't worry about the weight you use. That can't be your focus. Your focus has got to be on working that muscle and using good technique. All right, let's do this. All right, set 3. Pick those up. Don't swing those up on your lap like I just did. That's stupid. It's a good way to hurt your shoulder or your biceps. Oh, here we go. Watch your feet. Oh. See, no fake workouts for you guys. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna actually do my workout. I'm gonna share it with you guys exactly how I do it. I'm not pretending to do 4 sets and really doing 1 and spraying myself down with water, although that sounds pretty good right now. All right, that was 3rd set, 4th and final, going back to my original weight. All right, it's nice and light, so use good form, really squeeze it. Even though it's not hard, you can make each rep hard by focusing on that contraction, almost like if you're doing isometrics. You can make the muscle contract with no weight, so do the same thing with the weight. Just really squeeze it each rep. 1 more. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So you don't have to come in here and just push super, super heavy weight to make that muscle work and to make that muscle grow. Okay, so we're finished here. So I don't need to come in here and do another compound exercise of flat bench press. For me, it's overkill. I like to come in and stimulate the muscle, not annihilate the muscle. We're gonna move over, and this is gonna be our 4th exercise. 4th and final. When I go from here to here is when I really get that peak contraction. So I wanna mimic that range of motion as much as possible. So doing a traditional fly squeeze in the middle, I'm not maximizing that range of motion. That's why a lot of people do a crossover. So instead of stopping here, they cross over, try to get that extra squeeze. The problem for me is with my hand position like this, I start feeling it too much in my anterior delts. They start burning before my chest ever does. So instead of bringing my hands together, I want you to focus on bringing your elbows together, right? This is hands together. I want you to focus on squeezing your elbows in, just like this, right here. Now notice my hand, or my elbows. I got 90 degrees the whole time. Even out here, it's still a 90-degree bend. All right, chest nice and high, chin up. Try to bring your elbows in. Same thing, 20 reps, first set. Now people say, well, how do I get that nice contraction on the inside of my chest? I don't ever feel it squeeze in the middle. This is the exercise for that. So you come in, and you're gonna squeeze to the middle. To me, this almost mimics what a bodybuilder would do in a most muscular, where they come in to the middle like this to really get their chest to contract. And I see people try to mimic that with the low pulley, and they'll come in from the bottom and they'll squeeze up like this. The problem is, when you're coming up like this is a lot of arm flexion. Your arm's coming forward. That's a lot of anterior delt, okay? That's the reason I don't like doing them that way. I do feel it in my chest, but I still feel it too much here. So that's why I'll come from high and I'll squeeze to the middle. So that's first set. Second set, 10 reps, jump up and wait. Now you're not gonna be able to go as heavy as you normally go on a fly. So don't worry about the weight, worry about the quality of contraction. That's all I want you to worry about here. Focus on the squeeze. All right, 90 degrees, chest out. I want you to really, see, this is shoulders forward, that's chest out. I want you to focus on that. Shoulders back, chest out, chin high. Third set. You notice my hands are almost facing up. So it doesn't look like this, knuckle to knuckle. It looks like this. Okay, that was third set. Dropping back to my original weight for my fourth and final set, and then we're done. There's 15. If you really want to just burn it out, just to kick your ass a little bit extra, now you can come same weight and just do a few reps of a traditional crossover. Just really squeeze it out. That's it. That's a wrap. 4 exercises, 4 sets apiece, 16 total sets. Come in, focus on your upper chest first, focus on isolation exercises first, get that peak contraction, pre-fatigue the muscle, then move over to your compound presses, using dumbbells for greater range of motion and a better stretch than you would get on a bar, less anterior delt activation, and then I come over and I finish it off with another isolation exercise. So that is my complete chest workout. Now some of you might say, well, what about lower chest? I do not do decline presses. I personally think decline presses are a big, gigantic waste of time. Very little range of motion, right? And it's using a ton of triceps. So I don't even bother. You're going to activate your lower chest in any of these other movements. You don't have to focus on it specifically. If you want to focus on something specifically, focus on upper chest. Like I said, that's going to give you that nice, round, full chest versus a lot of development in your lower chest that looks like saggy tits. All right? No saggy tits. We're going to be jumping into shoulders next week. So we're going to talk about my strategies for developing well-rounded, well-balanced deltoids, not just overdeveloped anterior delts, is what you see typically in the gym. See a lot of guys with big anterior delts and nothing in the rear. So we're going to talk about a back to front strategy with delts. We'll go through and we'll dissect that with the advanced training techniques, just like we did with chest. And then just like we did today, where I bring it all together with my total routine sets and reps, we'll do the same thing with shoulders. So I'll see you guys next week.